about everything.
I'm probably through with it anyway, so who cares?
Oh.
All right, so I'm saying my hello now. I'm going to go off camera, but I'll be listening if you need me. Just ask me. Yeah.
George, did I send you an email a little while ago about a certain situation?
Hang on.
Hell is that noise?
That's not me. That's somebody else typing.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. My bad. Let me mute me. Angry typing.
That's pretty impressive, though. I still do one hand at a time and one finger.
So this is what happens. I'll give you guys a little insight into I can literally type 110 words a minute. I had a little mini crush on my high school typing teacher, so I took it 3 years in a row. True story. Useless knowledge. I can still type 110 words a minute to this day.
Be a court reporter. Another job, Spanish, another job.
Lots of hidden talents.
Oh, I love it.
Mike, are you referring to Austin's email for Friday?
That was one of them.
All right.
And then I sent you an email that Walt sent me.
Oh, okay. Let me read that now.
Be careful not to shout out loud.
No, I know.
I don't want to see you fall over with a heart attack.
We can't even see you anymore, George.
Wow, the first line just.
But you like
All right.
truck.
Wow. Let me just go into a moment of thought and process this for a minit. Okay, I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, I think we ought to adjourn the meeting and have a morning session today.
Well, you guys should be able to wrap this up pretty quick then. All right, so I'm going to go off my camera here, but I'll be listening. So if you need me, please shout out. I'll be available for intros and stuff as well.
All right, bud.
All right.
You can pay attention right now. I've got to put together.
I'm
You might
gonna
want
mute.
to. Yeah, there you go, muting.
Good fun. All right, let's see about who else has joined the meeting. 129.
Miss Sherry, Jim,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Ball, Lieutenant Ball.
Sherry. Hey, Sherry, before the meeting starts, can you hear me okay, Sherry? Maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna type you something, Sherry. I don't know if you can hear me.
Colonel who?
Colonel Watt.
Yeah, I spelled my name wrong.
Wow.
It's actually VITT.
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay. All right, and I see that Casey has arrived as well.
I have. I'm sorry. I was talking about stuff with
Casey, as you know, we had a discussion at the MPO meeting the other day, but it's confirmed Walt's not going to be here today.
Okay. I remembered about 15 minutes ago.
Okay.
I went, oh yeah. I better get ready for that.
Very good.
All right. It is 1:31. Do you guys want to go ahead and begin, or you want to wait a minute to see who else joins?
I'll take this first minute real quick, like to give everybody a heads up.
Okay.
As of earlier today, one of our members has decided that, to cease and desist with our organization. So if you hear anything going on, it's because of that. It's Harry. Harry's decided to no longer belong to CTST today or any further. And that's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You say cease and desist like he's taking legal action against us. Is that?
No, not exactly, not yet. But he's no longer part of our organization.
Okay.
All right, Casey, it's your show.
All right. I would like to welcome everybody to the CTST for today, January, February, March, April, May 11th, 2022. First, we're going to start with welcome and introductions, and I just welcomed everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'm glad you all are here. And I'm going to say, Melissa, if you would read down your list and have people say hello as we go down. I'll go ahead and start though. My name is Casey Dagenhart. I am with Hernandez Citrus MPO.
Thank you, Kate. And hi, everybody. I am Melissa Shepard with JMT. And just to let you all know, this meeting is being recorded. So we'll go ahead and start down the list. Bala.
Bala Padmanabhan with Bala Consulting Services, Ambassador for District 7.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Bev Howard.
Bev Howard, Citrus County.
Thank you. Brandon Drawhorn. I know he is on. So we'll go keep moving. Colonel Vitt.
Good afternoon, Colonel Vitt, Citrus County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. David Carr.
Dave Carr here, Ridge Manor, Florida.
Thank you. MF Duran.
MF Duran at JMT, Consultant, District 7.
Thank you. George Edmiston. He is on.
Yeah, hey, this is George Edmiston with Fenish, and I'm here with you as well.
Thank you, George. All right. Janice Martinez.
Hi, everyone. Janice Martinez, Law Enforcement Liaison for DOT.
Thank you. And Jim McLean.
Jim McLean, Citrus County. Hi, everybody.
Thank you. Julie Bond.
Hello, everyone. Julie Bond with Center for Urban Transportation Research.
Thank you. Lori Paleo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lori Paleo from JMT.
Thank you. Lieutenant Chris Ball. Well, he is on. Just let everybody know. Mike Zinn.
I'm Mike Zinn, your CTST Program Manager with District 7.
Thank you, Mike. Let's see. Sheriff Prendergrass.
I'm here, Sheriff Prendergrass, Citrus County.
Thank you much. And Sherry Cook. She is on. Did I miss anyone whose name I did not call out today?
Hi, Sergeant Anstead, Citrus County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Casey, I believe that is it for the roll call.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had to unmute myself. I apologize. The first order of business is to review and approve the March 2022 minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review those minutes? I will assume that's a yes. And does anybody see anything that needs to be corrected or updated?
No, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Okay, Mike Zinn makes a motion to approve the minutes as presented or as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second it, Jim McLean.
All right, thank you, Jim. Jim seconds. I'm going to do what Walt generally does and say if anyone objects to this passing, please say so. Otherwise, I will assume everyone is a yay. So if you object, please voice your concern now. All right, hearing none, it passes unanimously. We did have, looks like Sherry is having problems hearing. It looks like she has her speakers muted. That's the only assistance I can give right now.
I'll write her and let her know maybe she needs to come back and, like log back in or something.
Okay, thank you. Next order of business is old business, and we review the problem locations spreadsheet and get an update as to what's going on with them. So the first we have is US 41 and CR 491. Last we left off, we were waiting for Walt to perform the traffic counts when things resume to normal traffic, maybe in the fall. The left turn lane phases on CR 491 were to be evaluated and or added during DOT district-wide signal study. Did we have any updates from that? There was no update last meeting. Do we have any new updates from that?
Yes, Casey, I chased that up. This is Mike, by the way. I chased that up a little bit earlier, and we are going to go ahead and do a count out there on the northbound side of going 41 to see if it warrants a left turn phase, to go ahead and issue a warrant. But right now we need to get the counts first.
Okay. So those were the counts that you all were waiting to perform?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that ordered.
Do you feel like traffic is back to normal enough to be able to do that, or is it just we need to get going? We need to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, we've hashed that around a little bit. We feel like traffic's probably back up. And I mean, we've got several people in here from the sheriff's department, so they can probably vouch that the traffic is pretty much back to where it should be.
Okay, excellent.
So, and I know the traffic is just going to get worse if we wait till the winter, but I think with the traffic signal going in, this was other considerations, with the traffic signal going in at 491 and 200, the traffic's just going to pick up more on that east-west part of 491. So we think, we just need to go ahead and do the counts and see where we stand today.
Okay, and okay, that sounds great. Thank you. Our next item is number 2, Good Neighbor Trail stop signs. Ernie and Todd are following up on that for us. We had no update last time, but before that, Scott was going to meet with Harry, right? But this project has been a little bit delayed because Hernando County has had some other important things to address and to deal with. Is there any update on that, Ernie or Todd? And I feel like Jim was working on it too a little bit. Okay, well, hearing nothing and seeing nothing being typed, I will assume that there's no update for that.
Todd, your mic's unmuted. Are you talking? I don't think Todd can hear us.
It shows unmuted to me.
Yeah, I see it too.
Oh.
Well, it went away.
He's scrolling through something.
And we still don't hear you, Todd.
Okay, we will come back to this one then, Todd. And hopefully you'll be able to participate by then if that's okay. Please remind me, Melissa, to come back to that one if you would. All right, number 3 is the Withlacoochee State Trail and Independence Highway crossing. That was a Mike Ginger project. Last we heard, there was no update, but before that, Peter stated that the computer was ordered, I believe, to do signal timings for pedestrians. Is that Am I remembering that correctly? I'll ask Mike since Ginger's not on.
Yeah, I didn't follow up today to find out what's going on with the computer part. And I know Jim, I think you made a comment the last time. Everything on this was pretty much in a good shape except for that.
Okay.
Yes, it seems to be working fine. I mean, you got to sit up there and wait for the light to change and go through it. It's no different than if you're sitting in an automobile at the stop sign or the stop traffic light. So I really don't have too much of trouble with that, but
okay.
Some people are impatient and they just want to go ahead and cross Independence without waiting for the light to change, which I have noticed on many occasions. I did ask for another sign. We have one for northbound users to use the PED signal. And I asked if we would put one in for the southbound trail users to push the PED signal. And I'd like to get that done. I noticed I was up there Saturday, I think, or Sunday, and I noticed that the sign had not been put in yet.
Jim, that's on northbound?
It's the north side of Independence, and it would be for the southbound trail users.
Okay.
There's one for the northbound trail users right there, but there's nothing for the southbound trail users. And I think that may help. Laura and I talked about putting the signboards up there, but I'm not so sure that we need to do that. If we just add that sign, perhaps that may encourage somebody to use it.
Okay, I'll chase that and try to find out what we can do for a sign up there for you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
I think that's why he advised he was going to order the computer. I believe that's where that computer is going in, is for the southbound side. Does that sound correct?
No, the computer's for the entire pedestrian walk signal unit. This is just a little sign, 10 by 12 or whatever it is to advise users to push the button to activate the system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe the computer part was so we could give a priority timing to pedestrians in there or something like that, so they would get their own timing when they come up to push the button. It would get in there.
It works normal. I did timing sequences down there on it, and you have an 8-second walk ahead of time before the right turns are permitted and left turns are permitted. And then you have an 18-second to finish your walk across the trail, across the Independence on either direction. And then, but the problem is it shows up the right turn people can get their signal to turn right at just an 8-second start. Now, I walked across it in plenty of time with the 8 seconds. I have no problem with that. Other people may not be able to do that, but wheelchair perhaps. Or one thing I did notice is that the left turn for northbound 41 traffic, that signal goes to a flashing yellow, which permits them to turn. And that's one I think that maybe ought to go to a red, no left turn on red when that walk signal is activated through its whole both the 8-second and the 18-second. That should be a red light, I would think. And maybe that's where the new controller would take place and do the job.
Could be.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I said it could be, and that's what I still have to check on to see where the computer problem is. And I don't know how it is with the county. I know with us, we're having a serious time getting anything that's computered.
Yeah, there's still the issue of computer chips.
I mean, I've got signals out there that are on flash just because we can't get a controller for them, and been that way for 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. And
go ahead. That's the only issue that I really have is that left turn people, northbound left turn people, just, if you cross in that intersection when the cyclist or walker does not have the right of way, that left turn person could run over them. I don't know how many accidents have been in that area, but that's a situation that really needs to be looked at. I have absolutely no problem with it the way it is, but I'm different than most people. So.
Okay. And the problem you mentioned on 41, Jim, is that's not at this intersection, that's a different intersection?
No, it's the same one.
Okay.
It's northbound left turn, people.
Okay.
Is where I get most concerned about, because they're looking at cars coming southbound, not paying attention to what may be in that on the trail. And
Okay.
They dash across in front of a car coming southbound. There may be a person in the intersection. That's my biggest concern.
Okay. Anybody else have any other comments on that? All right, we will move to number 4 then. Number 4 is the Good Neighbor Trail, Preston Road and Weatherly Road. Last we heard, Ernie stated he did site visits and studies on both locations, and he put in a service request to have the right-of-way cleaned up, which will improve the site distance, so the visual site distance. Discussion followed, no update. Ernie will be looking at this on Friday. Is this note, Melissa, from between that meeting and this meeting? Ernie stated he did not make it when he originally thought he would. He said he would go sometimes this week.
Yes, that was the last update. And I believe Ernie just joined us.
I believe he did too. Should we give him just a minute to get up to speed and where we are? Do you hear us, Ernie? Ernie, it says your microphone is on, but we don't hear you saying anything.
What now?
Yes, we do now.
Okay. I did talk to Dan Wilton in the back about them trimming the right of way. And I brought up a driveway issue that's been out there for a while I was out there across the street from this problem area. So it's my understanding that the right of way has been trimmed. I'm not going out to verify it yet. I'm going to try to get out there Friday, well, this Friday, since on Friday is about the best days I can get out of the office or have to anyway. And so I'll check it on Friday to make sure it's done and check the status of the driveway as well.
Okay, fantastic.
Ernie, I will let you know the ADA mats have not been corrected or fixed.
Okay.
And Ernie, the only way you're going to fix that, you can't put those asphalt tiles down on asphalt. They just will peel up again. And Todd will tell you, here at DOT, we ended up having to take it up, either use the liquid truncated domes, or we had to pull up in asphalt and put concrete down, and then put the tiles on it.
Okay.
That was the only 2 solutions we found at DOT to work.
All right, so I'll probably have to add that somehow. I'll have to get with the county engineer on that one and see if we can schedule that for a later date then, because that's not going to be one of those quick fixes.
So should we schedule to take, no, because it's the ADA mats are part of this. Okay, so should we just say that the right-of-way trimming has been addressed and the ADA mats, fixing the ADA mats will be more of a long-term project, but like 6 months?
I would say, because some of you probably on next year's budget.
Okay. Okay, but you are, let's say then you're aware that they need to be fixed and they're on the list of.
Yeah, they're on the repair list.
They're on the repair list. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Is there anything else regarding this project? All right, we'll move to the next one, number 5. I'm sorry, what was that? Okay, number 5, US 19 and Cardinal Street. Mike, Julie, and CTST were dealing with this. Last time they said, or it looks like in between, there was Lieutenant Dolan, FHP, committed to his and he and others are available.
I have it really.
Your mic, please.
Hey, Ernie. Ernie.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mike.
Ernie?
I was just telling Ernie to mute his mic. He was drowning you out. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Okay, US 19 and Cardinal Street. Let's see. This had to do with the geofencing campaign. And Laura stated it's status quo with the message boards out there. Geofencing is going on and going well. There was a question about enforcement, traffic enforcement, I'm guessing speed, and motorist campaign to reduce speed along this highway or along this intersection. Is there any update, Mike?
We did the second campaign, and I don't know. I haven't gotten any information or any feedback from Laura or Lieutenant Ball how well that second campaign worked out there. So outside of that, the geofencing part of the campaign is we've already completed that, both core sections of it. Laura, are you still online?
Yes, sir, I am. Everything is going really well down there for us. We're not getting as much traffic related issues down there in the area. I think everybody is kind of adjusting to it, and we've pushed out enough out there that for the most part, everybody coming through the area now knows it's a construction zone, and they're anticipating it from the going north side of things. The message boards are still out there. One of those is going to be being pulled away for probably the last week of May, and then we'll get it back out there again, just so you guys are aware. The southbound, we had discussed in the meetings about getting some more, construction signs, construction zone ahead signs put up for the southbound traffic. But for as far as the northbound, everything seems to be going pretty well for us.
Or real quick, just so I know, how effective were those message boards? Do you feel they
overall? I think they've had an excellent impact over there, just getting awareness out about that zone. I know overall we've seen a decrease in activity in that area, and got to read some pretty amusing comments about all of it through the course of the geofencing. We're still working traffic in the area. It's always going to be a traffic area. It's Highway 19. There's always going to be opportunity to go out there and work it. But I think overall it's been a massive improvement. Having the message boards out there, the construction crews have done really good with the barrels and signage on that side of things. Really the only issue is more on the northern side, Green Acres and North, just get some signage up for the actual motorists so they do understand that they're in a construction zone pretty much all the way south of Homosassa Trail, actually through Crystal River, all the way south. While they're in the county, they stay in a construction zone the whole way. So signage for the southbound was the biggest issue over there.
And I know George is online. We did what they call a road safety audit out there between all three. That's actually 3 construction zones, and
right.
A lot of that information was picked up and passed on to the CIs on the job. We also brought to them their attention about cones and barrels. Some of them needed to be replaced and be fixed and be spaced a little better. And
those were really good meetings to have. Those audits were very helpful in connecting all of us, because I was able to make some liaisons with those construction crews, and it's easier for me to get information to them now. So Those audits were really good.
Well, very good. glad to hear the signs work because you were the first ones to try it in your area. So we wanted to see how well Citrus County responded to them.
Hey, Mike, all that signage should be addressed as well, that there should be coordination between the 3 projects for speeding, fines doubled, as well as the speed limits.
Good. Thank you, George.
All right. Would you say that this this item can be marked as completed?
I would say it's complete. I mean, I know Laura said they're going to continue to work it as the regular traffic details, but as far as the geofencing campaign and everything else, we're pretty much completed with that.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we're complete on our side as well.
Okay. We will put it for market as removal for the next meeting. That's what Walt does, correct? All right, excellent, thank you. We will go to number 6, Mariner Boulevard and Northcliffe Boulevard. This one looks to be about guide skips at Mariner Boulevard and Northcliffe Boulevard. David Carr said there are no skip guides at the dual left turns. Ernie said he would look into it and let us know. And then he stated the project is in progress, but there are other projects ahead of it. And this would be removed at the next meeting. So this is the meeting. And is there any update? And before we take it off the list.
I was there yesterday through that intersection. There has been no change, and I would not recommend taking it off the minutes until the job is completed.
Okay. Do we have any information about that, Ernie?
No, like I said, I gave it to the guys in the back. I don't tell them when it gets done. I just ask them to do it. So, and they just add it to the striping contract, and whenever it's done, it gets done.
Okay. How does the
We haven't had any accidents out there because of the no skip line. So.
Okay. How does the rest of the committee feel about leaving it on there until we get positive confirmation that it has been done?
I'd leave it on there until it's done.
Okay. Anyone else?
I agree.
All right. Hearing no one else, we will cross out that last line. This will be removed at the next meeting, and please put a note in there that says we will remove it when the project has been completed or when the paint has been put down. And moving on to the next one, number 7, 589/44 and New Parkway, Crystal Oaks Drive, coming out to 44. This was Sergeant Anstead was talking to us about it. And the intersection of Crystal Oaks Drive at 44 is very dangerous. The turn lane from 44 onto Crystal Oaks Drive is a long turnoff, but people are mistaking it for a long continuous exit lane for a ramp onto the New Parkway. Goodness. Walt said he turned this over to Turnpike Sergeant Anstead and mentioned adding some signage or delineators to help the public know it's not a continuous lane. Do we have an update on that?
Yes, I do. You might as well put me as the lead on this, since it's coming out of headquarters here in Tampa. It is being reviewed right now. A work order is being issued probably today or tomorrow to break that lane into 2 separate turn lanes for the time being.
We did finally have our first crash out there. It was from.
Actually, there's been 2.
Out there?
Yeah, there's been 2 of them out there.
Yeah, the one I was made aware of, somebody was actually turning left on Crystal Oaks from heading westbound and thought the person in the turn lane was turning right into Crystal Oaks when they were actually trying to merge onto the Parkway, and we ended up with a T-bone out there.
Right. No, we're all aware of it. I mean, even the newspaper, everybody's been aware of this intersection. So
Oh, yeah.
it is in the works, and like I said, there's going to be a work order issue now. As far as when the contractor gets to it, that could be a week, 10 days, something like that. But it will get broken into 2 separate turn lanes.
That is actually wonderful to hear. My trailer is still over on Crystal Oaks. I think it's been there for long enough. I'm going to take it and bring it out to 44 so that the westbound traffic has some awareness about that lane, and leave it out there for just a little bit to try and increase awareness for those drivers so we don't have another issue like that.
Very good. Appreciate it. Thanks, Laura.
Hey, Mike, it's Lieutenant Ball.
Yes, Bob.
Do you know exactly what we're going to be doing out there other than separating the 2 lanes? Because we talked about putting the plastic barrier marker things out there, and then putting paint on the actual pavements, indicating what that it was a turnpike turning lane, and the part that would go to Crystal Oaks as well. Like putting the signage on the actual pavement. Do you know if that's still going to happen, or is that?
LT, I'm not exactly sure exactly how they're doing it. I haven't seen the physical plans. I know as of this morning, it was sitting on somebody's desk and they were drawing on it, working on it. So I don't know what the outcome is. But I said, they told me it will try to get it all done by today so they can get a work order issued. Now, it's on the other side of the building. I haven't gone back over there later today to see how it's going to look and what's going to happen, but it is definitely going to be something to fix it. I don't know exactly how yet, though.
Okay.
But it's going to be an improvement from what's there, that's for sure.
Would you let us know next meeting what they've decided to do with that, please?
I hope it's done before the next meeting.
Okay, excellent.
I just want to make sure that we're getting multiple different solutions because of the different things that are going on there from different directions.
Just so you know, that it took the MPO, thank goodness for the MPO for Citrus Hernando, to bubble this thing up because Secretary Gwynn, our secretary for the DOT, happened to go to the MPO meeting the other day, and that got brought up in the meeting by I think Commissioner Kennard. I can't remember. Casey remembers. But one of them brought this opinion up, and we walked out of there. Yeah, we walked out of that meeting, and I got my ear bent going out the parking lot.
Good to hear.
Yep. So that's why I got a real hard push once everybody got back to Tampa.
Excellent.
Good deal. Mike.
All right. Were there any more comments on this project? Can we add Mike to the staff section of this project for next time? Okay, thumbs up. Thank you. All right. And that was the last project on the list. So we'll go back to our agenda. Are there any calendar updates and activity reports for us? All right, hearing none. I see 5 as a fatal crash map. I don't know who's going to take care of that. I don't have one, but do you have one, Mike?
For the maps.
This should be on the.
Go ahead. This is something that Melissa decided to try to do because we do this in one of the other CTST meetings. And this gives you an idea by looking at a map instead of me just telling you what the statistics are and how many of each one. So with this particular map, she's got one for Hernando as well. So don't feel bad, Hernando. You got numbers too.
Oh.
But this will give you an idea because some people, are picture people. I am. I like to look at, you can see over there on 41, between Inverness and Floral City, that's a picture of a pedestrian. So you had a pedestrian issue there. I mean, you can look at the map and get an idea of what's going on. Down in the lower right-hand corner is the number of crashes so far that we've had, you know, of the fatalities. And this is based off of Signal 4. So, but it's just something different. We trying
like
to see what
that.
you guys, yeah, what you like. And if anybody's got any questions about Citrus County, I know we've got some law enforcement on here with Citrus County. This, I think, is going to be now included as part of the minutes. So it'll be on the webpage when you guys go pull up the previous minutes of the meeting.
Wonderful.
You can look at it. Yeah, and it's a working process. So if you see something that you'd like to see added to this map, all you'd have to do is send myself and Melissa an email, and we'll work it into the system.
Okay, great.
How about, let's see if let's see here, nothing coming from the local Citrus. How about Hernando County?
It's a lot of off-roading.
Yep.
What are people doing off of those roads?
Running into trees. Right, Laura?
Getting accidents. That is the correct answer.
Well, you know, this is one of the things I was trying to help you guys, both your counties with local lane departure problems. I know Citrus County is picked up some of the things. Todd right now is working on some projects with Hernando County that I will be purchasing some stuff for them to help them with their local road problems.
Todd says we do have an ATV problem. Now,
Yeah. Melissa, I just sent you an email with an infographic that we did with the Motorcycle Safety Coalition that incorporates Citrus and Hernando County. If you got that, can you show that? And just so I can share with the group what we did with both Citrus and Hernando have been identified as top 13. So our Motorcycle Coalition identified the top 13 counties in the state for motorcycle crashes. And this is their infographic that they came up with. It's very eye-catching. I like the way it views it, but it goes by the years from 2017 to 2021 and just identifies some of the risk factors that go into crashes. I just sent that to both Mike and Melissa. If you guys can share these both with the group, that would be great.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. Cutter did this. So Cutter on the motorcycle side, and they did great. It's very interesting to see the different dynamics in our district. What happens in Pinellas County doesn't necessarily happen in Citrus County and Hernando County, but we have the top 4 out of the 13 in the state when it comes to motorcycle crashes. So share this with the group, and you guys can feel free to use this information as you go forward with your motorcycle enforcement, because it is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month.
wonderful.
Yeah, the little graph on the left-hand side, the risk factors, I found that absolutely interesting because they broke that down by age. So I feel like, Pinellas, you might have some of the sports bikes where, when you get up into Pasco, Citrus, and Hernando, maybe you have the riders more than that. But this is based on serious injury and fatality crashes where your riders weren't indoors and they're wearing a helmet, and if they were, speeding, and then if there was alcohol or drugs that were involved in it. And then we can cross-reference that with a signal format for any kind of enforcement efforts.
Wow, 100% of fatal crashes who weren't wearing a helmet were.
50, yeah, and that's by age, so 50 to 64. And so that is, the percentages that might have been, one guy, and he was the one that died. So when it goes to percentages on that one, it's interesting to see it. But I found that whole section right there absolutely fascinating.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So those will be in our minutes posted on the website for anybody's pleasure if they would like to see those or pass those around. Next update is the Safe Routes to School update. Do we have anyone from Safe
The only
Routes?
thing I know that it was working for Safe Routes to School was out there on Turkey Oak in out there in Crystal River, and the one on Forest Ridge Boulevard, I believe. That's the only two I know that are working. So without Walt here, I don't have any updates on that.
Okay. Well, we will look forward to Walt's update for safe routes next time then. All right, the next is new business. Any new business, submittal of requests for new or problem areas that we need to take a look at or ask FDOT to take a look at? Nobody has any new areas that we need to look at?
This is Bev Howard. The entrance to Sugar Mill Woods, the main entrance, there was a real problem with the traffic light, the turn lane, and people were backed up onto 19. The turn lane was full and they were backed up onto 19, which is very dangerous for getting hit from behind. And then it got better. I don't know. It was just, does anybody, we have law enforcement here listening, but does anybody understand or whomever makes the decisions on that? But was there something wrong? Was it changed, the turn lane, the length of the time? It wasn't long enough, like 3-4 cars could only get through.
Hey, Mike, I can discuss this if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that George? Yeah, go ahead, George.
Yeah, so Bev, as part of the roadway safety audit, there was 3 of them up there, that stretch of roadway. The contractor controls the signal. It is all, the loop detection is not installed there, so it's not detecting vehicles. So it's basically all on recall. So they have tweaked the signaling to adjust that. We've asked them to clean up the stop bars out there as well. But because of that offset span wire, it's a very wide intersection. So they're doing their best. If there's issues in regards to that, you could always contact Sergeant Anstead, who has direct communication with those project managers out there as well. But it should be taken care of.
It's
they're
good
doing the
now.
best they can with that.
Yeah,
Very good.
It's good now, but like a couple of weeks ago, I was really afraid because I lived there and I was sitting, on 19 and I wasn't in the turn lane and I was stopped dead still on 19. People are flying up behind me and it was like, it's scary. So.
Right. Well, I'm glad they took that information and they did adjust those signals, and they are going to stay on top of those. But the contractor does own those signals during the construction.
Wow.
They're the ones who actually control that at this point. So I'm glad they made that adjustment and it's working well. But yeah, any concerns with that, obviously FHP and Citrus County Sheriff's Office can get in direct communication with that CEI for that project.
All right. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. This is Sherry Cook. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I do have a new intersection that was brought to my attention at 481 and 486, my favorite intersection, where that merge lane comes going northbound, turning right onto 486. It's got that long white line that lane is dedicated to them turning onto 486. And then the northbound people turning left onto 486 that aren't supposed to cross that line, it's getting completely ignored, and both lanes of traffic are just immediately switching over to the other lane as soon as they turn, coming on both ways. Is there a way to put like those delineators, like there's maybe not as massive like on Croft, but just regular little delineators? I'm sorry?
The skip lines? Is that the skip marks? What are they called, Mike?
I'm not sure what they're called.
I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're trying to say, Sherry. I know a while back ago.
They use them when you get the arrow in the right hand lane, and the right hand lane gets to keep going straight when the other lane
it's a flex
turns
post delineators.
Yes.
We can do flex post out there on 41. I mean, I'd have to look at it, but
it's actually on 486 where the problem's at. Once you get on 486, both of them are turning, and they're just crossing the white line, not even paying any attention to it. When it's supposed to be a dedicated lane for those turning right onto 486 from 41, coming southbound to westbound.
Is there any way we can pull up a map of where that is? Maybe a Google map so we can all see what
I
she's
have one up,
talking
but I
about.
don't think I can share.
Melissa's a wizard. She can get us there.
Melissa's.
The intersection is 41 and 486.
Yeah, I put in 41/486 Hernando, and it came right up.
Oh, it did? I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's the town of Hernando's.
Ah.
If you zoom into that intersection, it's going to be the northwest corner there. Whoa, whoa.
Too far?
Too far. It's 486 right there. Coming off of 41, it's 486 right there.
And they're not staying in their dedicated lane, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Well, it's a solid white line, so they shouldn't be crossing that line legally until they get up to where the skip lines are. So
Correct.
that's
And
you know,
both of them are.
that's pretty much an enforcement issue.
And you're saying that the people turning left from 41 are going into that far lane, ignoring that solid
Yes.
white line?
And the people turning right from the other direction are doing the same thing, coming into the left lane.
Ah, okay. They're not, okay.
It's like nobody knows what a solid white line means.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So what would you do to help that normally, Mike? You said put the flex posts in there?
Well, I don't know if we can put flex post in that little pork chop area or not, but I don't know if they would allow that in that because I don't have the radio coming off the other direction. I'd have to check with the MUTCD on that, but typically this is an enforcement issue. People are not staying in their lanes until they get down to where the 1030 skips are at.
Okay. And this would be Citrus County Sheriff's Department, right?
Yeah,
Since
through
it's
that
in-
section, yeah, for the enforcement end of it, yes.
Okay. Do you all think you can do a little bit of an enforcement campaign over there?
Yeah, we absolutely can. I'll get this pushed out to my team tomorrow, and we'll start hiding in the area and seeing what kind of issue we got out there and form a plan and go after it.
I don't think you have to hide. You can just sit over there at the Chicken King parking lot.
Yeah, but we like to hide. It's more fun when you hide. It makes the hunting better.
All right. So is it okay to go with that? Mike will check and see if.
Yeah, I'll check and see if there's anything.
This is Colonel Vitt. If you can, just please don't list that as a complaint at this point. Let's have our traffic units go out and just check out that intersection.
Oh yeah, this was just going to be research right now. Research on Mike's side and investigate.
Okay, thank you.
And with a little encouragement from the sheriff's side.
Are you saying you don't want it put on the list right now?
Yeah, no, it's not a problem location. This is just an enforcement issue right now. Just something to be brought to everybody's attention that
Okay.
we have some citizens that don't know how to drive in that neighborhood.
I think we have citizens who don't know how to drive everywhere, Mike.
Well,
Let's not just point out those people.
they're picking on this intersection today.
Oh, okay.
do you guys not want me to include this in the minutes as well, or is it fine just in the minutes, just not on the problem location sheet?
It's fine in the minutes, just not on the problem locations.
Gotcha.
I second that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Are there any other locations or concerns that anybody wants to bring up?
So I actually do have a somewhat of a nuisance traffic location, Miss Maggie Drive. We are having a regular issue with speeders in that area, and it has gone past an enforcement issue because we can go out there every single day, work enforcement, and we're getting a whole new variety of people next day. Miss Maggie leads from that junction down by 19 and 98 right out to the water, and there are camping facilities and there's a boat launch. We get a lot of non-Frisk County people driving down this road. There is a portion of this road that is 25 miles an hour. It gets right down into a small residential area, and people are just barreling through. So we work it and we work it and we work it and we work it and we write tickets and we enforce and we enforce and we enforce. But when it's not the same people coming through that area every single day, it just continually is a problem. I've done a data collection out there for the last 3 years in a row. I have posted my message boards. We've gotten close to maxing ourselves out at attempting to solve this issue. So where do we go from here? Do we do an assessment to see if maybe we need to raise the speed limit, or what other options do we have to try and get some relief out there to our citizens that live in that neighborhood that are having problems with people speeding through? Please tell me somebody has something. Anybody?
Mike, do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, Laura, can you hear me?
I can now, sir.
Okay. I don't know without, this is a county road, so I can't tell you what the county to do out there. I know several other roads, even in Tampa and everywhere like that, they put in speed tables. The speed tables are very effective. I don't know how effective they would be out there and how many residents you're going to make angry by putting in speed tables. Because you go way out to the end of that, down there towards the McClung Loop or whatever that is, you got quite a few people living down in that area. So if you start incorporating speed tables up and down Maggie Drive, you might make a lot of people angry. But this is, if you want to put this on the problem location sheet, and then when their county person, Mr. Easterman, comes back on here, hopefully next month, he can give us his opinion on speed tables.
I think it at least warrants. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, this is Jim McLean. What if I don't know what the side stripes, the white stripes on the side of the road are. Why don't we make those 8 inches wide and kind of give the road a diet, which may make people slow down a little bit.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Jim. I'm looking at it more closely on my computer, and it looks like it's a wide open, virtually straight roadway where there's absolutely no visual obstruction. And so it may just need to be, psychologically close the road up a little bit by putting some trees or some signs or something up to make it have a smaller feel.
Yeah, if the stripes are 6 inch now, we could widen them out to 8 inch, and that perhaps would kind of give it a speed diet, type thing. Just making it look narrower.
Yeah, because I can see why people are speeding down that. Okay, and we will.
Yeah, because I don't think you want to really ask to have a speed analysis done on it, because if you find out 85% of the percentiles doing 50 miles an hour, then it's going to have to be raised the speed to 50.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where we are. So, and I've made the neighborhood aware. We stay in regular communication with the residents on Miss Maggie, and I have advised them at the point where it looks like, you know, structurally the speed limit needs to be raised, and we do an analysis, then the speed limit may get raised. But we're just reaching a point where I have to have an answer, and I don't like saying that we've done everything, because there's obviously always something more we can do. But from the traffic unit side of things, with the data collection that we have received on a regular basis and the information from posting deputies out there, I mean, there's a regular issue out there. And at this point, anything is going to be better. Like, let's do everything we can until we have to raise the speed limit.
No, I agree. And there should be something about, you know, it is a residential road.
Yes.
So there should be something that says, you know, residential roads require lower speeds, not 55, no matter how many people are driving, you know, 55 down.
Right.
I don't know Citrus's land use regulations or engineering standards.
Laura, when you're issuing citations out there, is it locals, the people that live there, that are getting citations?
No.
Or is it people going out there to the park?
And see, that is usually one of our regular issues, is that it's our locals speeding around our roads. But because that road is so close to the county line to Hernando, and also close to 98, which is a direct shot to Hernando and Sumter, and then the Parkway. Right. And now that the Parkway extension is complete, more people are coming off of the Parkway onto 98 and shooting straight across. Everybody is getting outdoors now more. We have a huge influx of people from out of county, which is why the education side of this and posting the speeds and working enforcement, we write tickets out there for a week, and then the next week we have a whole new class of people that are coming through. It's not a regular flow. It's mostly tourists.
Well, if you can get, you know, I've tried to work with the county to get you guys some speed feedback signs. So, I mean, it sounds like this road could be a good candidate for some of the speed feedback signs as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And Mike, that's exactly the number one road that I wanted to put it on when we were talking about it before. Because that was the first one that came to mind.
But this is in Citrus County, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the end of the road for Miss Maggie is that boat ramp, which is a kayak mecca, which brings in a lot of tourism, especially seeing as how kayaks have become such a huge fad.
Sure.
So that's very crowded, even during the week, but the weekends are, you know, out of control.
I'm glad to know all this information, so I know where not to go. I mean, this is in my area. So.
Yeah. Mike, it looks to me like if we could go back to the map, there seems to be like an awful lot of driveway connections to 480, to Maggie Drive. I don't know about raising the speed limit and somebody's trying to come out of their home on their driveway and get out onto a 50-mile-an-hour road.
That's why I cautioned about calling for a speed analysis on this, because your speed will have to go up probably, because everybody will be doing over. Well, I don't even know what the speed limit is in Miss Maggie, but
there's small portions of it. Part of it is 35, and part of it is 25.
Well, and if everybody's doing 50, and if 85% of the percentile is doing 50, then the speed limit is going to get raised to 50.
Even if it's on a residential roadway?
Yep. They don't differentiate with those speed analysis.
Ernie says the design speed of the roadway would be a factor before it would be raised.
The design speed's
So
correct.
the other concern with raising the speed and why I'm not really, I would like that would hopefully be an absolute last option is right now, the one issue, the saving grace that we are not having out there are crashes. Like that is the one thing that we have not had an issue with. And if we do raise the speed limit to 40 or 50, then people are going to start doing 60 and 70 out there, and crashes could become an issue.
It could be. Speed kills, we all know.
Absolutely.
Perhaps there could be a local art project and all of the art things put near the road, like rocks that kids paint and stuff like that, or posts.
So the only problem with putting things like that there by the road is it's not zoning, it's the ordinance or code. You can't have any, a certain amount of feet from the roadway with the right of ways.
It's called a clear zone.
That one, that's it.
But how do you make it feel like you shouldn't be going fast on it if you can't put anything near the end? This is a runway. Come on.
Welcome to my battle.
Personally, I would highly suggest these speed tables throughout the entire corridor. But it's a county road, and I don't have much say in that. So,
okay,
we can put this on the list and put Walt's name on it.
And we can make sure Walt knows about it before next meeting too, so he's ready to talk about it.
Put Laura's name on it so that Laura can bring it to his attention, the exact problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
This
Walt
is Sheriff
and I have
Prendergast.
talked about. Yeah, this is Jim. Walt and I have talked about speed tables before, and it doesn't seem like the county's for them. It may change, of course, in a situation like that road, but for the most part, they don't want to put them in.
This is Sheriff Prendergast. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Hey, so I like the idea of speed tables, and I get it that it's a county issue. The other thing, and I've gone out there myself and ran radar for a couple hours here and there to make a point that we are doing enforcement out there. Occasionally, it's commercial boat rental and other enterprises that go down there, and the occasional local resident. But as Sergeant Anstead pointed out, it is a lot of folks from out of town that come up there and contribute to the problems. The speed tables could go so far, but my other thought was, as I was sitting out there, especially where that curve comes up down by the bridge, and then also down in that area where there's a church that's, their parking lot's pretty close to the roadway itself. Would it perhaps be a good consideration to think about putting a couple of stop signs out there that force people to make multiple stops and have the speed tables in front of them that will have a traffic calming effect on those folks that are, flying out there to try and go launch their kayaks and get out on the water?
I like it. And that length of that road, if you added 4 or 5 speed tables, you're only delaying that person probably 5 minutes to get to the water.
Less than that. If you do the speed limit from 19 all the way out to the end, and literally legitimately do the speed limit, it's only a 5-minute ride from one end of the road to the other, most likely.
Okay.
This is Dave Carr. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
I don't disagree with that. The speed tables will slow people down. We want to throw this at you, though. Will there be a problem with emergency vehicles moving through there in a manner in which they need to move for emergencies if you put in the speed tables? Because it will slow them down. Also, there will be first complaints you're going to get from some of the residences will be the increased traffic of sound from stop and starts on the speed tables. Gunning from one to the next, it could create a different problem. So they'll be racing from one speed table to the next. So I just thought I'd throw that at you just in case you hadn't thought about it.
All right, thank you.
And when we're typing this up for discussion when the county comes back on, maybe I do want to add on there the speed feedback signs. I think that might actually help with the situation that was just addressed with the racing to the through the speed tables to the next one. If you have a speed feedback sign there showing the readout, that might actually prevent that.
Okay. I know I made a note of that. Melissa, did you get that too? Okay, yeah. She says, yep. Thank you.
Sheriff,
For
and Sheriff, to bring up Mr. Carr's mention about emergency vehicles. When you guys are emergency vehicles as well, and you just made the comment, it's not more than a 5-minute ride from one end to the other. So I know, when it comes to emergency vehicles, of course, time is always critical, but is that really the speed table is going to really play a huge factor in that, do you think?
From my perspective, no.
Okay. I'm confused. Is this road in Citrus or Hernando County?
Citrus County.
Citrus County.
Okay.
But it's very close to the Hernando County line. It's probably a mile north.
All right. So we got Miss Maggie Drive. Are there any other new locations that anyone would like to bring up? Okay. Well, hearing none of that, we'll move on to open forum and announcements. Does anyone have any open forum or announcements for us?
Hi, Janice here. We got Click It or Ticket coming up on May the 23rd. It starts May 23rd through June the 5th. It's our national wave. Hope everybody participates. I'm going to have a press conference on the 23rd. I sent out invites to all of our agencies. Hopefully they can make it. It's going to be held in Tampa. If they cannot make it, I will be more than happy to come on up there to you. I will actually be up in Hernando County this Friday on the 13th, just to take some pictures with the deputies with some Click It or Ticket signs and just push content all over our district in our area. And then to piggyback off of that, next week is Police Week. So if you see a police officer, tell them thank you.
All right.
Julie, you got anything coming up?
Well, May is Bike Month, as you know, so we have the Love to Ride Challenge is going again, not as large as it was for March. We don't have as many different types of prizes, but we still have it going during May, so please sign up and continue with that. We just sent out a newsletter that had all of the winners from the March challenge, so I hope all of you get our Bike Walk Tampa Bay newsletter. And we also we have the Icann Bike Camp coming up again, which is actually in North Tampa. But if anybody's interested in volunteering, that is the camp where we had it last year, and that's the camp where we teach kids with disabilities how to ride bikes, and there's special trainers that come in. And so we're looking for volunteers, from anywhere to come and help with that camp. It's a really special event. And so I can have Mike send that information out if anybody by chance might be interested. I know it's a little bit of a trek for some of you, but it's, a really great opportunity to work with these kids, and they end up at the end of camp learning how to ride a bike. And they're all different ages. Some are young adults and some are, 5 and 6 years old, but they do learn how to ride a bike. So we have that ongoing in May, and then that coming up in June.
So the I Can Bike Camp is in June?
Yes, it's the week of the June, let's see, let me look it up, June 14th-ish. Let's see, when does that week start? Let me see, June 13th through 17th. It's for a week. It's at the University Area Community Development Center, which is in Uptown Tampa off of Fletcher Avenue. And we need about 75 volunteers. So we're looking for anyone. A lot of teenagers will volunteer and get their volunteer hours they need. So if you know of any teenagers that are looking for something very rewarding to do. And so, yes, we have a link where people can sign up to volunteer. We have 25 kids signed up right now. We call them campers. And so, yes, anyone who would like to volunteer, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, great. Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right, hearing none, I'd like to adjourn the meeting. Are there any objections? All right, please be advised that the next meeting will be June 8th, 2022, 1:30, and it will be an in-person meeting. We don't know the location yet, but we hope to see all of your shining faces there. Where's that, Mike?
We did the last one in Lecanto, so this one here would be in Brooksville.
All right.
I thought we did the last one in Brooksville.
I was pulling that up real quick, Sherry. I was going from a memory, but I'm pulling it up to make sure.
Yes,
No,
sir.
I got
it
us
was
on
in
the calendar
Brooksville.
for a room next month.
I was gonna.
Yeah, we did it in Brooksville, Mike.
It is. The next one, the next one is true. It's in Lecanto.
All right. So we will see you all in
I've got a room
Lecanto.
booked.
Will we still have a Zoom option if people cannot be there?
I don't know the capabilities of the county.
No.
All right.
We
That
haven't been
sounds-
doing that, no.
Okay. Okay. No virtual option. We'd love to see you there if you can come.
I got one more thing here. We had that large meeting for the entire district, and I know Jim McLean was there. And Jim, would you like to give a little brief synopsis of what it was about?
I can try to do that. Of course, my notes are on my desk, but I'm not there.
That's all right.
We had several presenters from different district or different CTST groups that talked about how they do things, how they progress with their situations that they have. I found it somewhat unlike what we do with our problem locations, but they have similar things that they do. Let's put it that way. I'm sorry, my memory, I've been so busy doing other stuff. My memory's forgotten a lot of it. But we had a lot of presenters from all different groups. We had a young lady from the SADD group. You talk about a phenomenal person making a speech. That young lady was phenomenal, to say the least, for 17 years old. And she really got her message across about these youngsters and how they deal with different distractions. And she really had an awesome presentation. We had a presentation from a representative from MAD that was there. He gave a presentation about a personal disaster he had. And let's see what else was there. Sorry, Mike, my notes are on my desk. I don't have them with me right now. But
That's good, Jim. That's good, Jim.
I think it was awesome. It was really an awesome meeting, and I'd like to see us do it again. I'm in my I haven't done the evaluation yet, Mike, but I'm going to, and I'm going to have a few suggestions in that. So I look forward to it.
Just
All
so
right,
you
thank
know,
you.
just so you know, we're going to do this again next year, and we're going to do it in a larger facility so that we don't have to have a sellout crowd so fast. And I apologize for that, but to try to find some place in Pasco County that was centrally located, that's what we were limited to. And everybody seemed to have a problem if we even had it here at our district headquarters in Tampa, which has a capability of holding 120 people, twice the size that we had there. So everybody that I spoke to so far is looking forward to the next one, and it'll probably be an all day, or we'll bring lunch in. We'll do breakout sessions and everything else to make it, a good 6, 7, 8 hour, not 8 hours, but 6 or 7 hours anyway. But everybody seems to enjoy it and had a good time with it and took back a lot of information. Right, Janice?
It was good. It was good. I'll actually be with Shayna tonight. So they're actually having their sad banquet at Wiregrass High School, and she is officially handing over her crown. She is a senior and graduating this year. So tonight will be the last day that she is officially our national president. So hopefully whoever's taking her place has got some big shoes to fill.
Yes, I did.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And Shayna, that's who that Jim was talking about, the name Shayna Finkel. She is the national president for SAD, SADD. And matter of fact, the Pinellas County CTST is having her do a presentation for their group. And they're bringing in everybody from the sheriff's department there. So she's very phenomenal. I've seen her program, I don't know, half a dozen times, probably as much as Janice has.
It's been a lot.
She's an incredible young lady. I'd love to live another 20 years just to see where that girl's going. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you for that. And with that, we will adjourn. We'll see you all next month. Thank you for coming.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Great weekend, everybody.
Hey, Sherry.
Bye, everybody.
Sherry.
Bye.
Sherry.
Sherry left.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye, Melissa.
Bye.